Keeping an eye out.
Guess we could try to sneak in. Which means... Woedica. We're giving up protect immunity stock to do this, but it's not be worth it. I don't have too much resolve, so I have my doubts if this will work. Worth a shot. At least that will mean we'll get to decide how the fighting here starts.
Of course.
You are from Kratom, my dear? What made you decide to join our order?
Keeping an eye out.
Left is the temple. Can't recall what's here.
I see something.
Another stag helm. Wait a minute. I'll take that.
How do you do?
Thought I didn't ask any questions with the hood on.
A blade in the dark.
Scroll of Insect Swarm.
I'll see it. It's done. Finished.
Right. This will only get us in here.
There's something ahead.
Full protection. A fine rod. A fine one. Finding copper. Right. The mask will not protect us in the inner sanctum. They have a psyker there that can read our thoughts, I guess. Still, I'm gonna use this mask to go in. I don't recall our options too well.
I've been waiting on your reports. Quickly now, state your name and purpose.
None of your business. Impostor. Right. The end result would have been the same no matter what.
Woedica.
I lost control.
Yes.
No more shrouded women here. That should help us a little bit. Let them burn. No. No. Yes. 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 Injured, injured, badly injured. I don't think we have the time to fire another one. Might as well give it a try. So they burnt their own guys. That's dead. That's dead. That's not dead. That's not dead. His problem. Ooh, ooh. Ah. I'll save the rest of the summons for the larger fight. Shrouded man. Time to eat shotgun.
A blade in the dark.
It's 25 defense against Charmed, Confused, 10 defense against Dominate, plus 10 concentration. The alternative exit, maybe? Right, so we don't have to fight the other guys. I don't think I spotted this the last time. Maybe you could interact with the ghost if he would think you're part of Woedica's priesthood or servants in general. Right, what exactly can we do now? Oh yeah, the three options we have. Sure, which would be the best for us. We have to be able to do all of them, so it doesn't particularly matter. Sanitarium might be the easiest one. Start with this. Power allows us to learn the Ingwithan language. So as soon as we can do this, or rather the sooner we can do this, the better.
A blade in the dark.
Blade in the dark. Maybe I should make myself another weapon. This is not a particularly good weapon against these type of opponents. Burn damage is fine, but accuracy and extra damage is against something else. And it's not slashing. But I only know stilettos and clubs. If we switch to something else, we'll lose a huge amount of accuracy. Resolution. This will stick with this. Maybe I should buy the Jesus Christ, respecking of the character. Switched from stiletto to a proper weapon focus. It's -4 accuracy on the weapon, but it would allow us to use a much wider selection of weapons. The stiletto is okay. We haven't used gloves, but frankly we're switching between a lot more weapons. Increase damage club. Do we have a normal club or we don't want the fucking glove. I suppose it doesn't really matter. We can manage, but it's silly for you to not to gear yourself towards handling things more efficiently and better. Interdiction is sort of worthless. Hopefully I didn't put any points in that. It was a good starting ability though. But again, that's another wasted talent. Ghoul and our ghouls. Get you to cover for me a little bit. Right, you're okay to do something.
Yes.
Now burn them all. Your holy radiance. Actually, well, it also heals us, so it's a good choice. And I'm dead. Right. Just way too much damage, pollen, constant interruptions. I wasn't exactly totally unaware that we were fighting in a bad spot, but it's always, oh, fuck with me. Has to be a auto save. It's a fairly open area, not like you can do too much. Should have gone immediately on the offensive instead
As
of
you
buffing.
wish.
Summon creature didn't really, well, you bought a few seconds time. Wasn't all that useful in the end. I suppose the interdiction has this one benefit. It's good at initiating fights.
So much for you.
Okay, at least the damage is mitigated here. I think now we have the luxury of buffing.
Well. Mole. Ixi. Anna.
So we'll have about 20 seconds.
Mole. Ixi. Anna. Level beyond sick.
Still a huge amount of them that haven't taken any part in the fight. That's why I don't really want to use the Holy Radiance yet. Gonna lose him soon. What?
So
No, this is more like it.
Arthur, word and wrath.
Burn in hell. Burning beacon, holy radiance, right? And yeah, I think we're gonna die too.
Lava beyond sea!
Is that it?
They won't see me coming. I see something.
Scroll of rolling flame. Should not be able to open this. That's exactly what the stream was all about. Right, right. We're gonna get into a fight
A
immediately.
blade in the dark.
We're getting a reasonable amount of experience out of this. Right, after this we're respecing the character. It should give me two, well, at least free up one talent point. Reshuffle the weapon skill to something more widely used. I wonder if two-handed weapon specialty applies to the range weapons. Could do more faster attack speed, maybe. Ooh, ghoul, more ghoul. Gargoyle. Yeah, the wizard is dead. All the ghouls are gonna be in bad shape too, but the dark ghouls certainly won. So I need you all burn in hell.
Lava beyond sea!
Casculate.
Keeping an eye out.
The wizard is dead. Rogue is dead. Fighters, not so much.
Lava beyond sea! Lava beyond sea! There's something ahead.
Monies. Teleport Ranger and Revenants. Fairly small levels. I'm thinking of resting now, but I suppose we could go a little bit further. We just lack all the good spells, so any serious fight and we're in trouble. What kind of weapon specialization would we be looking for? It's always a mix of range and melee, but I think we might want to make the choice because of the range option. Because, I mean, in a lot of ways, considering how I'm fighting, it doesn't matter what the melee weapon really is. It actually, I'd like it to be anything but piercing. Because piercing has a lot of immunities. There are high resistances against crushing and slashing, but I don't recall direct immunities. From the range front, we would be looking for something that has a huge amount of individual shot damage, so it can penetrate damage resistance and range. We do not want to go anywhere near the target we're shooting at. Okay, what do you have? Gargouls, Revenants. Normal ghouls.
So much for you.
Still waiting for them to gather up.
Moe, Ixi, Anna! Keeping an eye out.
Where's Mr. Darghoul? Just patrolling here, Volgo. Grants Arcane Dampener. Beneficial effects suspended for 15 seconds. That could be useful. So I'd like to engage Darghoul when it's not next to all the other groups. Darghoul. Guess he's stuck there. Right. Limited amount of things I can do.
So much for you.
We get good hits on both, but that's not enough to do all that much damage.
Lava beyond sea.
Right. What if we knock them down? Is that even gonna help us too much? I don't think so. Just burn the fuckers.
lava room beyond sea! They won't see me coming.
Oh, they're both dead. Alright, might as well rest. HP try for a ranged weapon that has a stunning effect. Although that's not... that'll never work when we want it to work. It might be convenient to take down lesser creatures, like individual trolls and things like that, or ogres, but not when you really need it.
Let's try this configuration. Shouldn't be 15 years. That's what I'm trying. Forgive me. Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now. Something in the years I've been doing this. Years. No time. It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? I didn't see him. My assistant. Not yet. I'm not. You could help. By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there... Yes.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have the option to feed some prisoners to him. Might give us bonuses on the cruelty meter. Definitely want more cruelty. Ah, rational deceptive. Maybe that would be the... You can sort of force the contact, I suppose, to help you using your watcher powers. Now that I think about it, it's probably just a reputation thing. Are you gonna go? It might be a more cruel option or something like that. If not, I'm not sure if I want to do it. Might have unforeseen consequences. Want to learn the language. It sort of seems like you're going to... That's going to happen no matter what.
You return. What have you come seeking this time? That fool. He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a black... Ter Nuneth. It's called Ter Nuneth. Back to these tinkers' concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
Harvest them for essence.
And so give their existence purpose. But what kind, I wonder?
You can just extinguish her pride, but there doesn't seem to be a direct reason for it. See, this gives us a lot of opportunities to try to farm up our reputations. That's why I'm doing it this way.
These are the words. Something. Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can.
Cruel 3. Which my holy radiant should have gone up again. Access collected. 499. 161 burn damage. I think he's went up quite a bit. Now, I'll do something with you. We can't get out of the district, but the top of the tower is safe. I'll tell him we'll take care of you. Deceptive as shit. I wonder how high your reputations can go. Because we're looking at the what is Holy Radiance, and it's starting to be a fairly powerful attack against special type opponents. So, and I'm wondering how much of a bonus can you get to an ability like that. Only cruelty and deceptiveness will help. Wonder could we go to the blood pool at some point? The skein, our divine blood pool. Once we learn more of our past, he sort of looks into you and says it can't see anything there for it, I suppose, for it to use. But what if you learn more about yourself? Is there some kind of benefit to be gained later on? How the fuck does 3 people fit into your stomach? Must look like a pregnant woman at this point. Mentioned the secret about the machine, something to make me strong. Could be used to route essence through the machine to the individual operating. Okay. Overload and redirect flow of essence to yourself. Moderate positive defiance bay? Cool. Undying heritage. +1 might, +5% maximum endurance. It's okay. No complaints there.
Still and silent. It's finally over.
Right. Respecking. I'm not sure if I want to do it. It's not that I think it's a bad idea. It's just I don't have a. I don't know what to take. So I don't want to go in there and spend 15 minutes there thinking about what I'm gonna do. Invitation to meet Lady Wet.
Gods keep you.
Might as well go and meet her. The benefit of taking something that has one specialty would be that it delivers some raw damage. That'll at least always do something. But most of it will still be mitigated to nothing, and 20% raw damage out of something like 10-13 points is still basically the minimum damage. So it won't amount to much. It's more of a question, I suppose. Are we gonna... Ooh.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties. You have been an apt student.
Well met, friend.
St. Karam's Spark. Piercing damage. Fail piercing accuracy granted to an ally attacking the same target. What would we do? Shock damage. It's not particularly good. It's not terrible either. It's more of a... Are we gonna go with an Arbalest? Doesn't have damage negatives. It has the natural ability to prone targets. It can be useful here and there. It at least buys you a little bit of time. That's not... I wouldn't choose it because of that. The damage is what I'm staring at. We're looking for bursts. Burst. I think we have a rifle somewhere. Although I might have sold them. Yeah, because I don't have any specialty rifles really. Do I? Well, it doesn't catch the eye anyway. Yeah, the scepters and others are two-handed and nice, but the damage is just so low. Even with some specialty abilities, I can't see them matching up. Same with the hunting bows. I think we might have a crossbow, same thing. Might have a war bow. It's more or less the same thing. Yeah, I don't have a rifle at hand, so I can't make the comparisons. I need a vanilla arbalest and a vanilla rifle. The weapon shop probably has both. I need to go talk to them, see if I can get one. I just need to really look at the values. The firearm will have extra damage reduction, which always helps, but it will also have a shorter range, and that's a problem. Well, 10 meters is still this range. But the arbalest would have 2 meters above this, so somewhere there. Do we have any 10 meter abilities? I mean 12. I think this might be, yeah. This. Right. So the difference between attacking somewhere there and attacking at the very edges of the screen. I definitely want the 12 meter version. I'm thinking of things like powerful dragons where we might be able to hold them, but where going anywhere too close to them is basically a death sentence because of I don't have the health buffer to handle it. There's no way for you to reduce the damage enough because it's so high, so avoidance is the only way to survive.
So, since then, as I understand it, you entered a... Not just... You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost... I see. How... The gods are cruel, because you have more than what scrap... That may... He is also not one to show... Keep me... Whatever it is they're up to. If you find your trail has run cold, come to me the same way I come by all my precious little... Despite that, they are very good. Yes? All the... We are... And we do... Me?
Just going through all the
There was a
options.
time... If you... Many can hold an up. Who said a quiet day? There was. He believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned. Well, let's hear it. This is trouble. If we can... Try your best not...
Right. Yes, arbalest it is. So whatever weapon focus has arbalest as one of the weapons, that's what we're going with. It doesn't matter what the others are. Still a slow weapon to use. But, well, we can always respec again.
Good day to you.
New quest. Stands for cruelty. Probably going to go after the new quest. We need to interview 3 people, face the people in the underground theater where they've been killing people as part of the act. Okay, the first interview should be here. No, you.
How do you do?
One will be in the district where the theater is. One will be in Andra's gift, I think, drinking. It's a fairly simple quest. One potential fight only, and I think we're well rested. So, if it comes to a fight, then we'll fight. We might be able to make an agreement with them too. I mean, if we're cruel and deceptive in nature, why wouldn't we make the deal? I might lose some kind of shitty loot again, but the positive thing about not actually recalling anything about what you can get for loot is that you don't know what you're missing. Um, the shop in the upstairs probably has a rifle. Still has the lesser range, but I want to see the both options, arbalest and the rifle. The damage resistance is not to be ignored, but it comes at the cost of lesser accuracy. Damage resistance wouldn't matter with any other weapon, but since they already have such a high initial damage, it will translate directly to additional better hits. Wait, aren't dragons immune to piercing damage, or are they vulnerable to it? I don't actually recall. Drakes are vulnerable to it. Like Archivist, 28 to 41, but 6 damage resistance bypass, lesser critical hits damage, lesser accuracy. It probably has better base damage, because this has plus 30% damage, and I think it shows here. No, 42. It's our strength increases the max damage by 1. So this has a better base damage, doesn't have the accuracy penalty, has the same critical damage negative, but has no armor piercing. So in effect, this will likely do around the same damage. Individual shots can do lesser damage. Let's say the target has damage resistance 20, 30. This basically will have a lot of trouble piercing that. Can still do about 10 points of damage on top of that, but the rifle would do 16. And once we start adding these extra damage things, it will just increase. So against lightly armored targets, this is the worst option because the lower accuracy. Higher armored are targets and very slow, extremely slow. So it's also slower. It doesn't matter too much because we don't have the luxury to stand there and take shots. We will basically have to take shots and run like hell for a while we reload the weapon. But the reload speed still matters because we can't reload while moving. Wonder if there's a talent for that. Oh, this is a unique arquebus that doesn't particularly have anything unique going for it. Is the extreme slowness the unique property it has? They're good quality weapons. Right, and there's no real reason to take the pistol. There's just shorter range, less damage, all the same negatives. Shorter range, same damage, same crap. Plus they're probably, yeah, they're a little bit faster to reload. So for our likely intended targets, the rifle would probably be better. Cost of range. Cost of accuracy is the one thing that worries me. Choosing weapon specialty would basically just negate the accuracy negative, and if you get grazing hits, it doesn't matter what weapon you use, you're probably going to hit the damage reduction wall anyway and do minimal damage, and at that point you might as well use the fastest weapon you can. You would get more damage out of it. So using the arbalest would be like having a second weapon specialty on it instead of the rifle. Also have more range. So I'm leaning toward the arbalest. Right, got a respect right there. I need to talk to the third person in the market district. Can respect there. Well, maybe I could just do the...
You must gather your party.
Yeah, maybe I can just do the mission and leave it at that. You have to have a plan for the respect. I suppose if we go after the lesser dragon in the fire caves, in the area that's full of drakes, we could get a good test of the situation overall. Is it even viable for use? The battle arena there doesn't really favor using ranged weapons though, but you could...
Hail, traveler.
Question Lumdala. Anyway, I'm more than willing to get rid of the interdiction ability. That now we have other ways to initiate combat. We don't need that. Still useful, but I feel it's not worth that. the dazed for 10 seconds is not worth it. If we're using it, it wouldn't matter what it is. Even if it did nothing to the enemies, we would still use it. But it's a terrible use for a talent.
Greetings.
Rational 3. Perceptive 3. Cool 3. So we should favor passionate and diplomatic. 2 points already gave us some dialogue options here and there. Or consequences, how people reacted to me. So 1 point I don't recall any time doing anything. So higher we can get them, the better. A lot of options. I think we should still keep always pushing the core reputation, so I promise I won't mention you.
They won't see me coming.
It sort of bothers me that I don't actually see the actual values behind this. There's some kind of hidden number that it tracks. That might be the number that actually matters. I'd still like to have the know where I'm basically at. Can I move forward or not? Is there some kind of maximum I've already reached? I mean, the game isn't exactly shy about revealing these meta information sources if you really want them, so why make the exception on this case?
Where there's a pick, there's a way.
Right. We're gonna get in some trouble, now's the time. We have to fight, that's fine. If we can get out of it without fighting, that's fine. I don't care. Alternative exit? Cool. Pretty cool. Right. So what are we gonna choose here? Passionate. Or stoic? Let's be stoic. Hmm. Passionate too. Right. It's always something too. Okay. All together. We can still kill them. I don't see why we wouldn't. I mean, it's just extra loot from me, and I already got the name. So making a deal allows you to get to the true guys behind this, instead of just getting the ones who acted on it. Makes sense. Okay, that's blocked apparently. We don't have the luxury of doing that. Ooh, they have rows. That changes things a little bit. Yeah, you can do something. Right. And now it comes to me. Burn you a little bit first, and I'm gonna burn you a little bit more. Right. They are fairly capable. I mean, 20 points of damage doesn't really phase them at all. It's not a lot of damage, but at the same time, they didn't give a flying fuck about it. We're gonna lose him soon. They gave a flying fuck about that. Everyone's dead. How much damage did we do? It didn't show. Just that we got 3 hits, 3 crits.
A blade in the dark.
Hello there. Ring of Protection. I think I bought a Ring of Protection a while ago.
Of course.
Right. We'll have things to do. Return to current? No. I can also confront him myself. Yeah. That's what I want to do. Sort of just going to the authorities and letting the police handle it. While it's the sane and perfectly reasonable thing to do, it's sort of a... Why would you do it in an adventure game? If your solution to the problem is to go to the proper authorities, there's not going to be much of an adventure in store for you. You always need to stick your own nose into it. Okay, Gatterman something. There's a chance that he has actually nothing to do with this. Oops. Doesn't matter. We had a reasonable doubt to go and let the guard knows into his business. What exactly would he be? Don't have a house here. Brackenbury noble named Lord Gatterman. It's not Raymond Manor. I guess he just happens to live here or something. Maybe he's standing on the streets, in the bars. something. Lord Gatterman. Well, nice to meet you, Mr. Gatterman.
Well met, friend.
Right. Know about your involvement. Sickness, evil polluting my soul. Right. So he gets off while watching people die. Gods made him like that, so... Right. Someone has to pay for it. But he's a philanthropist. He is helping a lot of people. He's disgusted with himself for doing that. So getting him into trouble will not serve the greater good. But in that sense, but I don't think you can. I get the argument. If you keep this a secret, yeah, a couple people may die, and he gets off scot-free, but in the larger scale, hundreds and hundreds will benefit from it, massively benefit from it. At the same time, if you have the culture where people get away with it, it's just going to get worse. Even if it's sort of it becomes a public secret of a sort. Yes. More or less everyone is starting to be aware of it, that people are sort of turning a blind eye to certain things as long as you donate your collection to the collection box, so to speak. And I think it does far more damage to society in the long run. I mean, because justifiably people will basically start to distrust the government in general. You don't, yeah, you can say, don't people already do that? I don't really think so. My comparison would be I've seen some African nations. I mean, these were nations where the official government basically sold people to slavery. And it might have been a long time since it happened, but it basically, in the end, this once it goes to past a certain point, you can't get the trust back anymore. People get they have the sort of certain groups or tribes that they trust, and everyone outside it they will not trust. It becomes increasingly hard to have any kind of a government or a national unity. It's just which tribe has the control now, and they don't give a flying fuck about anyone else, because they did give that trust once, and they suffer for it. They're never again. It's just once the damage goes past a certain point, you're so fucked. I suppose same with the news agencies these days. I don't really know anyone who really trusts them anymore because of internet and a lot of different sources. You become increasingly aware how shitty they are. You even the ones you sort of trust or think that they're not actively trying to screw you, you start to understand how flawed they are. Take any topic you know a lot about. I mean, you really know the topic. Take a news articles or a report on that subject, and you'll notice a few things. It's going to be reported or written as a person who has no fucking clue what they're talking about has been told how things work. So they're sort of trying to get their mind wrapped around it, but it comes all wrong. Not exactly like a total piece of shit article, but like they don't understand, they don't get it, they don't come from that background, they don't have that specialty of understanding. Once you understand that, you sort of understand the obvious truth that all the articles are like that. The reason you might not have noticed is because you also lack the specialty understanding of that subject. So you've never really become realized that all the articles are just sort of more or less okayish articles, but are shitty articles from the perspective of a person who actually has knowledge of that particular specialty. So you're sort of getting an approximate information load of that specific subject when you look at the news. There doesn't have to be any ill will behind that, but it's still not going to be. If you look at that subject even a little bit, you understand that how lacking it really is. So it undermines your trust in the news agencies because you understand they're not really specialists in almost any subject, but they still have to write about everything. So it's more or less just either fairly shitty articles or reports on what other people said, and that's it. There's no real investigation or understanding or specialty put in there that would make it a fantastic piece of information source and understanding of a subject. It's just these things sort of happened, and this is what people told us about it. That's your news. Better than nothing, but I suppose it's more or less just important to place it in the proper context. Understand what news are just stories that certain people who lack the proper specialization to even understand what they're talking about are reporting. That's all it is. Someone has to pay. Signet ring from House Raymond, made specially for Lynette. Provide this with your accusation and people will believe it all too easily. Why Lynette Raymond? Yeah, the girl is unwell. It wouldn't surprise anyone, myself included, for her to do something like this. I'm not proud of asking you to do this, but she'll never function in normal society. May even get her out of her father's house and into the specialized care she needs. Ah, sounds like a shitty thing to do. Deal. And then the 1,000 copper bribe. For administrative fees. I like this. I like this quest. You might be perfectly right. I mean, he doesn't have to lie at all or give any false information, and you could still see this going both ways. You make all worthless person or innocent is basically sacrificed for the greater good. It's a shitty thing to do, but I'm betting this basic choice is done thousands of times every day all over the world, and people are okay with it. It's just their view on who's a potential sacrificial, an acceptable sacrificial scapegoat differs. Is it going to be a person that's a little bit insane? Is it going to be some kind of pedophile who no one has any sympathy for, or whatever? Doesn't matter. Someone homeless, someone who doesn't contribute enough to your political campaign, whatever.
Hello.
Okay. I found the missing people. Okay, cruel and deceptive. Ooh, we have to choose that. Give him the Raymond signaturing. They were all murdered. The net Raymond was responsible. Okay. It was all worth it to put a stop to these heinous crimes. 3,000. Gained reputation. I do like these. I'm a hero. I'm a goddamn hero in Defiance Bay. It's all earned. We earned. I'm not doing the respec now. Because I ranted about the unnecessary things about news trustworthiness and the like. I don't hate the news, or when I read the news think that, oh, they're going at it again. I just, yeah, this happened. But I sort of acknowledge the fact that what the news reports probably isn't like what I would think if I would actually look into the matter a little more accurately. So I sort of, you view it as, try to filter out any opinion and view as the facts that they reported. The Russian defense minister said this. And that's all it is. If you're interested in the topic, go look for other sources, actual sources, and not just people who happen to report what other people have said. Look at both sides. Expect everyone to basically not be objective about it. Look what people do, not what people say. And try not to be an asshole about it. Just because you distrust someone doesn't mean that everything they say or do has to be filtered through some kind of a evil, black-hearted meaning. They might actually mean what they say and act accordingly. I suppose I will respect. Not now, but I will. The stiletto has served us very, very well, and I still think it's a great weapon. The jolting touch does actually quite a lot of damage. Much more than it's implied here. I wonder, is it because it jumps targets? I mean, I'm doing regularly 50 to 60 points of shock damage, and here is 20 to 35. So, or is it automatically, even if it crits, it shouldn't do that much damage. So I think it's probably the jump target effect. Either way, it's a very, very good weapon. Don't regret buying it and specializing in it, but I think it's time to move past it. There's just too few stilettos, and the piercing damage is often resisted, and the damage itself is too low to really affect certain targets, so we need to switch to something else.